Welcome to the TrainAnything Show. This is John.
And I'm Dylan.
And we are passionate about all things endurance. We are here to inspire belief and action, one podcast at a time. We believe anything can be trained, and we're here to talk about it.
Anything.
Anything. We mean it. And we hope you're listening to find out how much we mean it.
You know what's fun to train anything in? This week's sponsor.
What? Yes. I'm so glad you brought that up. Today's episode, do you want to announce it?
Yeah.
Great. Tell us.
The wind.
The wind. Wow. How did you secure that deal?
Well, it's character building.
Ah.
And every time we go riding together, we do have a nice headwind.
Always. It's inevitable.
Never a tailwind.
Oh, what are you
Sometimes.
talking about? Monday.
All right. That was special.
That was special. All the way home.
For the listeners, we did a loop where typically the most grindy, false flatty uphill section that takes 40 minutes or more.
Yep.
Just is always a headwind, but we were graced with a tailwind.
We were.
Shout out Tommy.
A beautiful day.
I think it was Tommy.
Just the luck of the Tommy.
Yeah.
Is he Irish?
We had we had our boy Tommy with us, and yeah, he gave us a headwind
Yeah.
or a tailwind.
Right.
He didn't give us a headwind.
No.
But anyway,
Well, thanks, wind.
the wind, yeah, just embrace it. You know,
Seriously. There's nothing you can do about it when it's there.
you just gotta sometimes sing louder in it or
Yes.
something,
Right. Or scream.
or scream.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Well, moving on, huh?
Thanks to the wind.
John, what have you been training this week?
All right, my train anything. Yeah, it actually goes back to earlier this week on that wonderful ride. And it's more of a mindset thing, but it also applies physically. And that is the hold the line mindset. So when you're out, I think this is particularly applicable in a group ride setting where you're out there with other people who are pushing you and you're just trying to hang on, and you're just fighting this battle with yourself of like, I can hold the wheel, I can hold the wheel, I will hold the wheel just until that next tree or bridge or wherever. And you got like guys behind you, you're like, if I lose this wheel, they're gonna have to work extra hard to catch the wheel, and I don't want to do that to them, so like I gotta just stay in the game. And so I got to practice that on Monday, and it was awesome.
Nice.
I think when you're out with a group, I mean, it's an unstructured like play ride, like just friggin' send it, push yourself, and I'll pick up the pieces after they fall, because I did pop a couple times. So that did happen, but it was just a good reminder of like what your body can do. And when you push yourself past that point of like, I don't know, 5 minutes before that, you would have thought you would have been done. Like
Right.
and I was like, oh no, we're still hanging in. Oh, and my heart rate is still, okay, we're still going. All right. Like mine, like get back in the game. So I was training Hold the Line. I just got reminded of it and look forward to bringing it into sessions and like workouts, and just leaning back on that and saying, oh no, we can hold this.
Yeah.
That was mine.
I like that because, right, if you do that enough, you're going to stick it for the whole ride sometime. You know, it's going to come. You're going to get that fitness, and then that's just a confidence booster for when you get into a race.
Yes.
Because you didn't quit on yourself, right?
Yep.
There's one thing. I mean, right, you can't always do that. But like you said, long rides every once in a while with the crew. It's like, yeah, just have fun.
Yeah.
It's play.
See what you can do.
Yeah, and you don't have to go all out, but you just got to like.
Well, I had to go all out.
Yeah. Yeah, heart rate 200.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Watch was done. New heart rate max. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun with about riding with people better than you is you just you totally get
feed
pushed.
off of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great one.
That's awesome. All right. Well, mine my mine's fun. Potty training. Training anything.
You would have thought a 30-year-old man would already be potty trained, but
yeah, I know. I keep pooping my pants. It's so frustrating.
Let's Kendra put up with you.
Yeah.
You smell that? Does anybody
She
else
loves
smell
me.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Next
We gotta.
episode will be sponsored by Depends. All right. Sorry. Continue.
That'd be fun. Someday I'll be pooping my pants when I'm
Okay.
however old. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Got us off track.
Yeah, but I have a 20-month-old son, and he's kind of potty training himself, but it put us into like, oh, we should potty train him.
Yeah.
And
He gave you the idea?
yeah, he goes boop, and he points at the bathroom, and he points, and he'll go over to the door, and we're like, you got to poop? He's like, mm-hmm. And we'll sit him on the toilet and he'll poop. I'm like, holy crap. We didn't even have to teach him that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And, dude, it's so funny. Like,
he just figured it out.
you know, when kids poop, you'll, like, go to the back of their pants and you look down.
Right.
Okay.
What you got in there?
Because you smell, and, what you got in there.
Uh-huh.
He'll grab the back of Kendra's pants and go, poop. Did you poop? They're like, pull your pants. Like, well, Asher. It's like, we don't poop our pants.
Put it together, bro.
You poop your pants, so we look in the back. But anyway, it's been pretty fun. So potty training, yeah.
Oh,
We're in it,
exciting phase. What if you could get them? How early can kids get potty trained?
Well, this might be pretty soon. Like
I'm saying, you're
he's
about
not
to
even
have
2 yet.
What if you only have 1 in diapers and 2 under 2? That would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Wow.
I don't know.
I'll be praying for that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. He's all the prayers we can get. Yeah, but he's crushing. He's potty training himself, and so am I. Gotta quit pooping my pants.
Code Brown.
All right, let's tighten it up. Huh?
Okay, yeah, get back on track here.
Jeez.
Train anything.
Okay, who we shouting out this week of our athletes?
Yeah,
John?
I think we got some folks who raced. So shout out to Elijah, who just raced 70.3 Victoria, which ended up being a run bike, no swim on it, but
bike run.
What did I say?
Run bike.
Well, that would have been a real switch. They're like, we're not swimming and we're going to reverse it.
Yeah.
That would have been maybe more fun. But
bike run.
For him, right. It was a great season opener. And despite the swim being canceled, he was kind of bummed about, which as he's not like grew up swimming, he's learned how to swim more as an adult. So as an adult learned swimmer, being bummed about the swim being canceled, like good on him. Love that. And putting that time in the pool. But he had a solid day, like good season opener, pushed what he wanted to on the bike, and had some cramping on the run, which I think is a nutrition issue, which we'll address for his next thing. So shout out E on crushing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep.
Had a boy.
Next athletes, we got some runners.
Yeah, we got a couple runners. We've mentioned them before, but Nolan and Lauren are running a marathon this weekend. Nolan's first, 18-year-old. It's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be awesome. Excited for him. And then Lauren. Yep. So she's an experienced endurance athlete, one of our lifestylers, and she's got some big goals. So see if she can smoke it.
Stoked to be out there.
You are going out to cheer them.
I'm gonna be there.
Unfortunately, I won't be there. I got duties at church, so yeah.
Fine.
What do you do?
That's all right. You go to church. That's what you do.
Right. Yeah. So we'll be good. I'm expecting videos.
There will be updates. Yes, I know. Now I'm left alone to get content, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We should talk about that. All right.
Yeah.
They're gonna crush.
They're gonna be so awesome.
Let's see. And then when this drops, we'll be on the other side of T100 San Francisco.
Yes.
I think.
Yep. That's tomorrow. Today it's Friday recording, so Saturday. It'll be an exciting. It's a hard course,
right?
Jumping off the boat.
Is the bike course fairly windy?
It's just hilly, really hilly.
San Francisco.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. But that was an exciting race last year to watch. Hopefully, it's another banger. Yeah. So, anyway,
get after it.
Good luck, T100 athletes.
Yeah, and everybody else crushing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Are we ready for the pod meet?
Yeah, let's throw it on.
All right. Do I get a sound effect?
Yeah, let me grab this steak.
Hey, pod meet. Here we go. We are jumping back in.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Yeah.
Jumping back into our phases of training series. We told you they would come at you when they come at you, and this one is now coming at you. We have done 2. As a reminder of our 4 phases of training that we're talking through. First, form phase. Second, speed phase. Third, today's episode, force phase. And we'll round it out with focused phase. in a couple of weeks. But those are the 4 phases of training that we're going through. We're talking about it focused on triathletes, so swim, bike, run, although the principles can apply in other sports. We're also talking about it from a frame of reference of a 70.3 triathlon distance endurance athlete. So some of this would, especially when we get into focus phase, it'll really come out. But we're talking long distance triathlon as we go through.
Yep. So, yeah, if you haven't listened to Speed Phase yet, that was episode 5. Jump back, listen to that, so you know how we're transitioning into Force Phase. But just to quickly recap that, Speed Phase, really we're just turning the muscles on, getting everything firing, having fun, blasting
Opening it up.
Yeah. So, like, the best way to think of this on a scale, it's like, so through our phases, form, speed, force, focused. When you start, it's very non-specific to the event, but we're getting your body ready. As we're getting to force phase, we're getting a little more specific. We aren't quite there yet. That's for the focus phase.
Yep.
So anyway, but yeah, we're going to dive into that.
Love it. All of it. All of the, to Dylan said, everything is focused on the demands of the race in hand, and we get more and more specific as we go.
Yep. And why do we do that? Right? So, like, why?
Is that ask the audience? Anybody?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the way we do it that way is if you do too much specific stuff early on, you'll peak too soon. You're going to peak at a weird time. So, the idea of endurance sports, it's like always pull the reins.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what we're always doing. Less is more.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're trying not to peak too soon. And the force phase is setting up a good foundation to really get specific and ready to blast it.
Yeah.
Come
blow off it.
Yeah. Right. So
yes.
Anyway, so as we're talking today, have that in mind, and yeah, we'll just keep rolling through it.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Also, another note, a kind of overview, not just of force phase, but of programming in general, is that we're not, in terms of what we subscribe to or prescribe to, folks who want to do one thing all the time. So we talk about these 4 phases of training, but we think it's really important that you're touching on all the different zones and thinking about form and drills and technique throughout all these phases of training. So
that's right.
Even though as we talk about this in chunks, and certainly as we talk about the different phases, we're going to highlight the phases or the workouts and sessions specific to that phase. Just know that within that, you're also doing VO2 and
you're touching
cadence drills and whatever it is. You're doing all the things. Generally speaking, just there is an emphasis, and the bulk of the key sessions are going to be on whatever phase you're in. So, just a reminder out there for that.
It's a good reminder. Because if you just stick with one thing all the time,
what happens to you?
Chances are you feel dull.
Do you become a gnome?
Yeah. Yeah, you just freeze like this. Yeah, you just become a gnome.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably just feel like a sad boy or girl, just out there training.
A one-trick pony.
Yeah, and you'll feel flat.
Hey, if you were a pony, how many tricks would you have?
Probably 3. Swim, bike, run.
Oh wow, good answer.
That was a good answer.
That's a good answer. All right.
No. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that? No.
No.
I think you made a face. We got pony jokes. We're ready for the next thing.
Let's get it.
All right. Force phase. Strategy. I'll talk through the strategy.
Sure. Do it.
All right. Great. So as the name of the phase implies, we are looking to build strength. So force, right? We're applying force to the ground and really working on that aerobic capacity. So a lot of folks who are listening maybe are up on some various training methodologies, and zone 2 training comes up a lot in endurance sport. And so upper zone 2 training is what we would say would be a big focus area for the force phase. That is also called LT1, so lactate threshold 1, if we want to get a little bit more technical, we're working to essentially push that to the right. So spend a lot of time in swim, bike, run deliberately just below that threshold to move it to the right, which will then just set up our lactate curve and ability. Like if you move your aerobic threshold to the right, your tempo, which is right above aerobic threshold, which might be where you're spending some of your race, is also to the right. And to the right meaning more power output. So you faster, essentially, just keep it simple, as that stuff moves to the right. So we want to spend that time here to develop that. When we get into focus phase, like teaser, we're going to go to the other side of it and do more pace-specific work, tempo work, that kind of thing for the race. But as far as force phase goes, we're going to keep the key sessions strengthy, which we'll talk about how we do that, as well as building out that aerobic capacity, which is upper zone 2, just below LT1.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Some of, yeah.
I think,
anything else you'd add to the overview?
yeah, maybe, you know, the LT1 work that we do, upper zone 2, you can kind of do a lot of it. It's not,
right.
It's not like, it's taxing, but I mean, you should be able to talk, at least speak a few words, you know,
Yeah.
a sentence, then take a breath kind of thing. Your heart rate should never run away from you.
Yeah.
So if your heart starts to run, like go way up, you aren't LT1 anymore. Yeah, you're now in threshold. And so it's just important to, like, you know, I don't want to like say any one heart rate because it's different for everyone, but you know, it's just keeping your heart rate within 5 beats, you know,
steady Eddie.
Yeah. So that's
and you
important.
recover fast from this as well, right?
Yeah.
You just talked about being able to do a lot of volume at this upper zone 2 effort, because you're not going to experience as much breakdown as, you know, VO2 sessions or threshold sessions, just cellularly, which allows us to just stack more volume through the progression and keep you recovering and advancing, like keep you cycling through that.
Right. Yep. Definitely.
Love
so the mindset.
You
ready for this?
What do we want our athletes to be thinking during this phase?
All right, Rock. So what we'll be calling on is good old-fashioned blunt force trauma, horsepower, heavy-duty cast iron, pile-driving punches that will have to hurt so much they'll rattle his ancestors. Every time you hit him with a shot, it's got to feel like he's tried kissing the express train. Yeah, let's build some hurting bombs.
Yeah, cast iron.
Cast iron.
Let's go, Mick. Thanks, Mick. I'm jacked up, ready to go. Who's watching Rocky this weekend?
Yeah. Blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma.
Dude,
yes.
we're preparing it.
That's
Here.
right. We are working on it. Lay them hits hard.
Strength.
Later, but working that strength right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Setting that deep, strengthy foundation.
Yes. And it's just good, hard work.
Yeah.
It is not the flashy, sexy VO2. I don't know, whatever. I don't know how you define a sexy workout, but it is just upper zone 2 is just work. And
that's right.
So don't expect like lots of excitement, but it is
so
necessary.
Because you start working. You start
you get there.
Yeah.
As the volume creeps up on, like as the duration of the session creeps up. But it's just important to keep like focused in this phase on the task at hand, knowing it's going to pay dividends later when you start doing that pace work that maybe is more exciting to you. You're like, well, I'm sitting in upper zone 2. It's like, no, this is where.
But if you're feeling like that, you probably aren't working hard enough. Honestly, I mean, it's like a.
There's
like
a level.
Zone 2, there is,
There's a
and
level.
it's a hard one. If you don't have lactate, it is a little bit harder. But you know, to get like super perfect and dialed, that's probably the ultimate way to find your LT1.
Yeah.
But there's ways to do it with heart rate, and
yeah,
I mean, it's honest.
Yes,
you know,
it is work.
It's work.
Yeah,
you're building hurting bombs.
That's right.
So Johnny boy,
yes sir.
What's some swim workouts we're going to be doing in this phase?
Let's jump into swim. So as we'll talk about that aerobic capacity development, when we talk about that is about controlling the effort that I'm putting out and making sure I'm in that zone 2, upper zone 2 world. Because if I go over it, like then I'm just doing tempo. And when we're talking about threshold work, if you want to move it, you got to move it from the bottom. So that's super important. So when we think about that with swimming, you can do that in a number of distances. So whether it's 100s, 200s, 400s, your main sets are going to be anywhere from 1,000 if you're new, if you're joining the swim fun, up to 4K of work if you're someone like the guy sitting next to me in terms of time in the pool. But it really is about heart rate management, your rest. If you're doing a set of 2100s or 10100s, you'll be getting 10 to 15 seconds rest, but keeping that heart rate in the zone 2 pocket, keeping that effort, again, with the breathing in that zone 2 pocket as a aerobic threshold set. The other side of that strength, you want to talk about more of the toys you can use for building strength?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of where it comes into touching everything, right? This is where you can play and have fun.
Mm-hmm. You like fun.
Yeah, so paddles is a great way to swim LT1 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Strengthy, you can use a parachute, shorter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Strengthy.
Power.
Yeah, but also touching VO2, it's short, but strength.
Yep.
You can throw a band on your ankles,
Torture.
Yeah, because it's hard swimming with a band, It sure teaches you how to float.
Survive.
Yeah.
How to not die.
Yeah. Yes.
There's probably other benefits, but that's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. And again, like John hit on the very specifics of what we're doing, like staying in the box of zone 2, but also drilling, sculling, doing different movements with your arms, like building up strength and strength endurance.
Yeah, actually, that's a great one. Like that sculling and how bad do your forearms burn after 50 meters of sculling?
Yeah, it's insane.
It's so bad.
And swimming, gall darn it, always like prioritize how to float. Like we need to float as swimmers.
Body position.
It's everything. So if you're just swimming stupid yards all the time, you aren't getting any better, I promise you.
Yeah.
So, and that's like in our programming, we do a lot of drills.
Yeah.
So every week you're doing drills.
Very intentional swimming.
Yeah. And play, like have fun. I started trying some new sculling techniques where I'm not there yet where I can float without putting a pull buoy between my ankles, but like on my back looking up at the ceiling, feet going forward down the pool and sculling above my head and like going forward as a missile. But like you're building a lot of strength up here in your arms.
Yep.
And you can do kind of like this motion, kind of like an egg beater.
Genie in a bottle.
Or you can do, both. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Somebody cue some music. Do that again.
So that one's good. I also like doing another one where I'm, again, laying on my back, but now head's going forward and feet are out, toes breaking the surface of the water, but you're sculling down below past your waist and hips. And it's forcing body position. That's the whole point of that. So the one with the feet forward, body position, floating. The one with the head forward, like legs flat, body position.
Yep.
And then you're also
Feel
building up
water,
that resilience and strength in your arms.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just it's a great way to not have to swim as much and build up a lot of strength.
Get a lot of value for the time spent doing it.
Totally.
Yeah. Bang for your buck.
Yeah.
I believe in that. Yeah.
That's right. Well, train anything.
Yeah. Huh.
Anything can be trained.
Go.
I mean, train anything,
big sculling.
right?
Big. We're big on it.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, that was good. I think we hit swim pretty good.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
Yep. Bike. This is some of my favorite workouts.
Do you want to talk about them?
Sure. Yeah. So the bike workouts, some classics are like 4 by 10 minutes, building up to 6 by 10 minutes.
It's like an hour.
LT1.
Up to?
Yeah, up to
about
an hour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know if you need to go too much above. There's other workouts we'll talk about in a second. that you can go over an hour that are pretty safe.
Yep.
But LT1, you're kind of right on that edge of zone 2. And, yeah, you're getting the maximal bang for the buck. So a great way to do these workouts, these 10-minute intervals, is low cadence. Again, what are we doing?
Strength.
Blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma.
Cast iron.
Cast iron.
Yeah, we're building hurting bombs in those quads.
Let's go.
John.
Hurtin' bomb.
Yeah, like your Quadzillas.
Is that my new nickname?
Quadzilla.
Oh, here's Hurtin' bomb coming down the road.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend named Justin. He's got bigger quads than you.
I don't believe it.
He does.
Get out the measuring tape.
Holy crap.
Let's go.
Yeah, we call him Justin Timberlegs.
That's funny.
He's a fast cyclist. Yeah. Shout out Justin.
Yeah.
But
I did. Well, on this thread.
Sorry.
Let me give you some material.
Uh-huh.
Someone last week was like, "Oh, you should be John Thizer."
Oh, funny. Because Kaiser is my last name. John Thizer.
Yeah,
that's good.
I
like that.
Yeah, but
John
they were
Thizer.
inspired. They saw me gardening, and they decided that I needed to be told that because I was out gardening in shorts.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know? Anyway, let's
Yeah, so,
back to workouts.
Yeah, LT1. So in the
Low
force
cadence.
phase.
We talked about low cadence. What do you want to talk? I mean, we kind of.
Yeah, we're hitting on it. Low cadence for the
Yeah.
LT1,
Yeah.
4x10. But over this phase, we're going to build you to an hour so that you're ready to do an hour at race pace in the next phase.
Yeah.
But
And the idea with that low cadence, so strengthy, yes, but in doing that, and it's the same principle that applies with paddles in the pool, you'll likely, again, every day is different, but you'll be able to push more power, like in theory, you push higher power at the same heart rate because you're using a lower cadence, and that lower cadence is forcing you to use your muscles to facilitate that generation versus your aerobic system with a higher cadence. So like if you up your cadence at the same power, you're going to see your heart rate go up because your heart rate's working harder. But lower cadence, we can suppress our heart rate, push more power at LT1, effective like magic,
Boom.
right? Moving things to the right. And then when we release you in focus phase, you're just working from a way better place because you moved your LT1 and you're stronger and like your cadence comes back up. It's good stuff.
yeah, man. Right. And it's like low cadence is it's a great cycling drill. So if you can add it within
That too.
LT1, I mean, it's like a double bang, triple bang. Wham, wham, wham.
How many birds
was
and
that?
stones?
How many birds?
And stones.
Bro, one bird.
No.
One bird. 10 stones. I had that backwards. Oh, man. I got something in my eye. That's great.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, hey, so, okay.
All right.
And then,
so, the LT1 stuff. What else?
yeah, LT1. So, and then something that John loves. I'll give you credit for this one. Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, meat and potatoes. It's this is another way to it's like below LT1. So this is sub LT1, still zone 2, but there's a difference when you're trying to push LT1, you're trying to stay at the top of it. Meat and potatoes,
Meat and potatoes.
you're below it.
Yeah.
But we can spend a lot more time there. And you're just building even more strength.
Yeah. Strength, endurance.
So adding this within this phase is another great way to flex
yeah. And
the bike. But up to 90 minutes.
yeah.
We can do. And there's lots of ways we can play with this.
Yep.
I think you can, some classics, if you do like 5 minutes, you start, you build, you kind of build the meat and potatoes. You can. You can do like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25, 30, and whatever. Just build the power within.
Yeah.
Just in different steps. But I don't know, dealer's choice.
Yeah. But by the end of that, you just feel strong.
Yeah.
Strong like bull.
Yeah, and your heart rate's so controlled. So, yeah, you aren't doing anything cray.
It's
You know what
good.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's the third leg of this stool?
I don't know, what is it? Long ride?
Long ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic. It's just
Build
good.
that long ride.
Yeah, we're building it up in this phase. Yep. So, and long ride. You're better off just riding zone 1.
Yeah.
Just keeping it heart rate 120 or less, just chilling.
Careful on those group rides. I was a zone ride on Monday. That was my zone 1 ride. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
I know I crushed that.
You looked like a zone 1 ride. You looked like a zone snow cone.
Yeah. Salt? Anyone need some salt on their sandwich?
Does anyone want a salt stick?
If you lick me, I'm going to hit you. Just so you know.
Nobody's licking you, John. Nobody's licking you.
What if they're desperate?
Maybe your future wife.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next.
Oh. Yeah. No one's licking John. That's all right.
Right. That's okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
So.
I'll keep myself for myself. Yes.
Yeah. But long ride. Yep. It's a great one. So. Okay. Run.
Yeah.
You feel good about the bike?
Yeah.
I feel good about the bike.
Yes.
Okay. Run workouts. This is too cliche. Hills pay the what?
Bills. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true.
It's true.
I mean, whether you run them short, long, hot, cold, hills. I mean,
are they paying
again,
those bills?
dude?
Are they paying those
and
bills
then some.
for everyone?
And then some.
Yeah. But yeah, like, dude, hills. They're so good. We keep them throughout the whole program. You're always going to see hills.
Yep.
They're just safe and good.
Oh, the form adaptations,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
muscle firing patterns,
Yeah.
the
Yes,
just
sir.
exhilaration of throwing yourself at a steep hill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, a great way to do this, 1K repeats, 2K repeats,
Yeah.
and anything in between.
Right.
But
Yeah, and depending on the level of athlete you are and history you have running, we get this up to 10K a work, 12K. You could even go a little bit more if you're really getting after it. Not maybe necessary, but you can do that broken. If you're doing it on a treadmill, this is a great 1K, 2K repeats, anything in between is a great thing to do on a treadmill.
right,
So that
you don't have to run back down.
You don't have to run back down. Yeah, the
Yeah.
running back down can blitz the quads and maybe tuck you out more than you need. So if you're on a treadmill, throw it in that 5 to 7% range and mind your heart rate. Don't be upset when you see the pace and you're like, I'm not moving. Why aren't I moving? It's like, no. This is not the point, right? This is the work. We're putting in the work and the work in the system and the strength and the form, like all those things.
Yeah.
Not speed.
Yeah.
Like the speed
You might see 4 miles an hour
yeah,
or less.
That's who
I mean,
you are.
just never know. It's different for everyone.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But great session to do on a treadmill. If you don't, find a long hill so you can just walk some of the downhill on the recovery. I think where it gets harder is if you have to run, like if you only have room for one repeat on the hill, then that becomes a lot of running downhill.
Yep.
But make it work with what you got.
Yep.
Focus on keeping it in the box when you're running up that hill.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir. And then let's see. Just got to keep repeating this throughout as you're listening. But, right, we're touching different speeds.
Yeah.
Throughout.
Right.
So, we're still going to be hitting your VO2 fast running. We're doing strides.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the odd fartlek.
Yeah.
Just to keep it fun, keep you from going to sleep while we're building the strength. So, because if you just run slow all the time, you're just going to be slow all the time.
Yeah.
So we
Seriously.
gotta like keep everything going in this phase.
Keep it firing. Yeah. Don't become trudge monster.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be trudge monster.
No trudge monster allowed.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So, and then I guess going off of that, what's another one? What's another
Long run.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Building it up.
yeah, as we move through the program, building up that long run safely and in a very disciplined way.
Mm-hmm.
That could, as it gets longer, include some LT1 work, some pace play. It doesn't have to be same all the time.
Yep.
You can add intervals into it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm just pulling out a calculator really quick, so we can just keep talking about long runs. Building long runs a good one.
Oh yeah. So as that long run, we move towards focus phase and start to tap into things on the other side of LT1. more intentionally, one way we can bridge that gap and start to get the body to move in that direction, and also test your endurance and that kind of thing, and build confidence, is building long run.
Yep.
So start out, at
You're gonna make it.
your happy pace, and then cut it down as you're moving through. And depending on where you're at in your program, that could be cutting it down to a 5K pace, could be cutting it down to taste blood, probably not, but could be cutting it down to 10K. Again, that end pace could vary, but the important part is that you are starting slower and that you are managing your effort and output throughout that run, and feeling good at the end.
Totally. And I love building long runs because it teaches you how to pace and be in control of yourself. So
right. If you're doing like a 10-mile building long run, and by mile 5 you're maxed out,
you did it wrong.
You did it. You got to start over. You have to start over.
Oh, yeah, or it's just a failed workout.
Oh, okay.
You got to start over. Yeah.
Yeah. It's now a 15-mile run.
Yeah. Just run it easy the rest and learn from it. But it is very important to practice pacing, and I think the less experienced of a runner you are, the harder that is. And I think it's a safe way to practice.
Yeah, and like test what does this feel like? Pay attention to it.
Yeah,
like settle into it. Be like, oh, this is what this feels like.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because how many of you out there listening?
Don't look at me.
Start out the first couple miles pretty fast, and then you slow down. Yeah. That's why the Kenyans do the Kenyan shuffle. They start at 10-minute miles. And by the end, they're at 5-minute miles.
And they look the same.
Yeah, totally. So
somehow moving.
Yeah.
So fast.
Honestly, if you start all your runs Kenyan shuffle and then build into it, that's a job well done.
Good way to go. Yeah.
Little tangent.
Yeah. Well, shout out Kenyans.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, that's the run.
Yeah.
So,
did you have?
Yeah.
So
I pulled up. Yeah, because I thought of a question people might have as they're listening to this, like, okay, what should my heart rate be, Coach John, Coach Dylan, for LT1, right?
Yeah.
And the percentage of max, it's gonna range a little bit, but we'll call it 80% of max. Heart rate.
Yeah.
Yep, somewhere in there. So for me, let's call my max heart rate 185. LT1 is going to be 148.
Yeah.
So perspective.
There. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's again, with a lot of, I think it's a good point to make too on training and technology and the specifics of it. It's like, does LT1 exist? Yes. And part of the goals, and if you look at like the Norwegians and what they try to do in like the lab settings, is like optimize and get as close to that threshold as they possibly can to move the needle. But the reality is like 20% below, like within, call it 80-20 rule, which most of us live in, right? Most of us don't live and train in labs, is still going to benefit you. Yeah. And so using some of these rules of thumb backed with your experience, and as you're out on that run and feeling RPE scale, what this is, and using some of these percentages to guide, I think you can get pretty close.
Yeah.
And to where it's productive. And I think when we're doing threshold work, whether it's LT2 or LT1, under is better.
Yep. Right.
So just keep that in mind, and being like, oh, but if I go slower, I'm not going to get as much benefits. Like, well, if you're trying to work your LT1 and you're going tempo, you failing. Like you're not working your LT1, even if it feels good. Right. So err on the side of under, use these rules of thumb.
Yeah.
And you'll do all right.
And and like I was saying in the beginning, I think we were talking about this, but heart rate's variable. Like that is a big variable. If you're feeling good, your heart rate can be really high because your body's like, oh, I'm awake and alert and I can eat, Yeah. So that's why we say 5 beats. So if my LT1's 148 a baseline, I can flex to call it 153 or something. Yeah. Or under if I'm tired and suppressed. But if you're there, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just another
Rules
rule of thumb.
Like it.
Yeah. So there you go. Maybe I had one more thing to say on that, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
That's all right. If it comes to me,
It'll come to you.
I'll talk
And
about
if
it
it
later.
doesn't, it won't.
It does. That was a great transition.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I did. Do we want to talk? Well, I'll throw this in before we talk strength notes.
Oh, I thought of it.
I thought of something else.
'Kay.
You first.
Yeah. So, right. So I think this is another thing I thought of just now, like another question you guys might have.
Ooh.
Because if you guys are always riding at 80% heart rate, your system's screwed up. Like you're always pushing the envelope, and that's not good. It's not good. It's not how you progress.
Uh-huh.
You almost have to do a hard reset. And it's hard for people because if you're limited on time, everyone wants to flex, right?
Yeah.
So I think the more time you can spend as an endurance athlete in zone 1, zone 2 is like the rage right now. But like, let's talk about zone 1 because that's really important in endurance sport. Like I spend a ton of my rides at like 115 beats per minute.
Yeah.
And runs like 120, 130 beats per minute. It's like, it's low.
Yeah.
So that when it's time to hit LT1 in this phase, you can actually flex your heart rate and like push more power. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And, right, getting back to the variability of the workouts, high, low. Like we talk about always sprinkling in the VO2 or sprinkling. We don't talk about where you spend a lot of time, which is zone 1.
Yeah.
And the benefits of that, just general volume in your training, which, more volume you can handle, generally speaking, the better. We'll keep it general. And then the mitochondria development that you're doing, if it's an easy spin, the recovery, like you can actually recover during an easy spin or an easy swim. Like you can aid recovery in that. And like that's super important as well.
Yep. Right.
So,
yep.
Don't be a one trick pony.
There
we
you
talk
go.
about that. Be a 3-trick pony. Or more. Dylan has 3 tricks, so you gotta
flex
have more than that.
You gotta flex all the zones, and if you're always flexing your tempo, which a lot of people do,
it's fun to be there.
it is.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want to do it. But
Yeah.
we're talking about being professional because we're professional coaches and we take this serious, and we want our athletes to develop and get better, and it's very important. I think that that's a disclaimer.
I'm glad you remembered to disclaim.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was your thing you were going to say?
Well, I don't think we talked about how long this phase is.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, when we're talking about adaptation and your body actually adjusting to what you're doing to it, the stimulus we're putting to it, we're talking about a 6-week window. Strength phase in a program of 20, 24 weeks, be 6 to 8 weeks of it, depending on where you're at, what you're doing. There's a bit of depends and fudging around the edges there, but we want to spend a good amount of time here. And if you have more time, this could be a place that you might put it just to do and achieve the goals that are outlined here.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. I should have been at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to listen to here to get it.
That's right. Here we are. And then we'll just touch on strength training.
Strength notes.
Yeah. Strength notes. So, yeah. What do you have?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah. I guess when we talk about strength, as we have in the other 2 in this series, building strength is a different, overall, how to build strength is going to be a different progression than just getting into your race. So as we think about strength throughout, we're big fans of everything mobility, so we call it prehab, rehab, things that are keeping you fresh and flexible and stretched and just not locked up and sore, so that those like foam rolling or sitting on a lax ball or whatever it is. Working core, like that's a staple throughout. Band work, those are activating those hips mostly. Those are always in there. And then anything lateral, anything that gets you out of that singular plane that we run swim and bike in is going to be beneficial to you. So like that's something we talk about like in daily life, no matter what phase of training you're in.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of the programming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Touch on some lateral workouts. You could do single leg pogos, jump over line, single leg, or you can jump over line, double leg. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Ice skaters is another good one. Box jump type stuff. You can land sideways, just play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different planes of motion.
Right.
It's good.
Playground time.
Yep.
Chasing your 2-year-old around. I think that counts as lateral movement.
Seriously.
I mean, he darted today, and it was like, whoa!
I know.
You better get faster.
He's running.
Because he's out of here. Yeah. And if you back strength.
Yeah, he can open our front door now, which is scary. We have to lock our door.
Gosh.
Anyway.
Yep. If you are on a more traditional strength plan where you are building strength during the force phase, you are going to be picking up on volume in what you're doing, but for the most part, it's not. Again, we're not working the top end as a focus, so you can still lean into heavy lifts through this phase. We're also not so close to a race where, again, we're going to be getting faster, more specific, aka higher risk for blowing something out. So you can continue strength loading through this. But that was a but. You're building volume, and we are doing more work, so you can't discount that as you're thinking about your strength sessions and how they fit into your overall plan and week and all of that.
Yep.
Don't want anybody getting hurt.
That's good. Yep. Right. We'll do a strength series another time.
Yeah, there'll be a
We can
whole
talk more
other
on
series on the phases of building strength, and we'll kind of do the inverse. So we can talk about where you're at in the season and how you might adapt the different phase of strength building when you're in there.
Yep.
Tickler. Wow.
Oh, tickler. Well, let's wrap this baby up with a bucket bowl.
Do we have anything? We have nothing else. We have nothing else. Wrap up strength or force.
Force? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
All right. So it's all.
I'm ready for a bucket pull.
All right. Clearly. Focusing on that upper zone 2 aerobic and strength development. Super important that you're spending time below that line so that when we get into the focus phase, which we're going to talk about next time, you're just operating at a higher level and we'll be able to push more power, more economically, and really unleash on race day.
Seriously.
So spend the time. Cast iron.
Blunt force trauma. Pile driving punches that'll rattle his ancestors.
That's right. All right. That's all I got to say about that.
That's good. That's a good wrap up, Johnny boy. John Thizer.
I should have never said anything. I was like, I've been alive for a hot minute, and I'd never heard that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start calling you it.
Yeah, thanks. Bucket poll. Today's bucket brought to you by
my sponsor, Rudy Project.
Out of the helmet.
Yes. The Skidoo.
Yes.
This is a great helmet. It has a fly catcher.
Yeah, I don't know why every helmet doesn't have a fly catcher.
I've actually been thinking I might buy some cycling caps for my other helmets.
Because
I might become a cycling cap guy.
Whoa. Is that why people wear them?
I don't know. Maybe.
They would keep the bugs out of your hair.
Dude, I'm so tired of bugs hitting my head.
Especially it's
and then
spring.
you feel them crawling.
Yes. And you're like, is it a bee? Is it a bee? Is it a bee? Don't be a bee.
I might buy some cycling caps.
All right.
Anyway. But this one has a fly catcher.
Yeah.
The Skidoo.
So
Rudy Project.
Buy the Skidoo.
It's not a paid ad.
Not a paid ad. This podcast is sponsored by The Wind today. All right.
The wind in our hair. The flies in our hair.
Ooh, that's good.
The wind that flies put in our hair.
Wow. Is that a haiku?
Maybe.
I don't know.
What's this bucket poll?
All right. Bucket poll. What is your bike cleaning routine? Do you have any favorite products? Do you wax your chain?
Do I wax? I wax my legs. No, I'm just kidding.
You would.
Nah.
You're a masochist like that.
That's a great one.
Yeah, bike cleaning routine. Routine implies you do it more than once a year. It sounds like that might not be for everyone.
Yeah. Well, this one's kind of near and dear to me. So I worked at a bike shop for 5 years, and I learned from Justin Timberlegs. You guys heard about him earlier in the pod. Yeah, but he's a mechanic. He took bike cleaning very serious. So everything I'm about to say is Justin Timberlegs.
Justin Timberlegs.
And I've been doing it for years. And so, yeah, I'm all about, because of Justin, okay, there's some tools you need, right?
Yep, what do I need?
So you need a paintbrush.
Paintbrush.
Yeah, weird, right?
Yes.
Like a nice, smooth paintbrush.
Okay.
You need a tough bristled brush, so something that's got some, strength to it.
Okay. Some heft.
Yep. And then like a toothbrush, something like a toothbrush.
Okay.
You can do like
3 brushes.
Yep. And then like a good sponge, big sponge.
Big sponge.
Okay.
Yep.
So fill up a bucket, hot water.
Hot.
So when you're cleaning your bike, it's best to use hot water.
Okay. Melts the grime right off of there.
Yeah, because if you're using cold water, you can do it. So if you're at home and you don't have access to that, you can use your hose. It's fine. But make sure that bucket of water is hot. It's steamy.
Okay.
Dawn dish soap is the thing.
Good for ducks, good for bikes. That's what I always say.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so get Dawn dish soap in there. It's great degreaser. And that's like for the most of the bike. So frame, wheels, everything. You can put it on your chain, your cassette. Yeah. So anyway, you want to get your bike wet to start. And then get like a nice chain degreaser. So you got your brushes now, your bristled brushes. And what you do is you get your bike in a good gear where you can spin backwards, right? So you're spinning backwards.
Yep.
You can put the bristle brush on your cassette on the chain, and then you're spinning backwards with this degreaser. You're getting that degreaser all over that chain, all over your cassette.
It's in there.
And then you get the front chain rings, your small chain rings. So you're getting that like powerful degreaser all over the drivetrain.
Yep.
So that's step 1. And you let it sit now, okay?
Yeah, let it work.
It's important.
Work its magic.
Totally.
Yeah, don't rush this step.
No.
As they say, don't rush this step.
Because you do it twice.
Oh.
So once that's, sitting, degreasing.
I'm like surprised.
I know. Ooh.
Sorry. I'm the person on the infomercial. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. And now this is where Dawn dish soap comes into play, right? So you got your sponge now. And then, you just go to work.
Rub her down.
Yeah, rub the whole bike down.
Yep.
Get that Dawn dish soap all over. Heck, throw it on the chain, cassette again, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then rinse it off. So you rinse your whole bike down after you get it all soapy. You can see where you missed, so this is good. Good step. And then you go heavy degreaser again on the chain. So now you're pedaling backwards. You're getting your chain all degreased, and you're really hitting the whole cassette.
Like we mean
chain
it.
rings again.
Yeah.
That's right, because
Clean bike. What was our goal? Clean the bike.
Clean bike, fast bike.
Fast bike. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, dirty chain, slow chain, slow bike.
Slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you guys.
How many watts do I get?
Probably 10.
All right, I might do it.
Seriously. Dude, you would have stuck on
Yeah.
all the way to Clyde Park.
I would have a clean bike.
Yeah, you blew up on the bridge because your bike chain was messed.
I'll take it.
Cool.
Yep. Wasn't
That's
me.
what it was.
Yep.
Where was I? Jeez.
Second round of degreasing?
Yeah, second round of
Clean it up.
degreasing. Yeah, and then, on that second round of degreasing, look to see where you missed on your frame. You hit it with the Dawn dish soap again, whatever. So the more often you clean your bike, the quicker this will go. If you have not cleaned your bike in a long time, this takes maybe 3 rounds of doing the chain degreaser.
Yep.
So
I think, this is also like, spend 15 minutes a day cleaning your house. Your house will always be clean versus letting your house become a mess and you spend like 3 days cleaning your house.
Boom.
Right?
There you go.
Same concept.
It's the same concept.
Love it.
I know. Yeah. So, and then rinse it all down again, hot water, ideally. And then, dry the bike, dry the chain off completely. You can do wax. You can wax your chain. That's certainly an option because that was part of the question, wax chain.
Yeah. You can.
Yes, and it's probably the fastest. Wax chain is probably the fastest, but for most of our human lifestylers,
just lube it
a
up.
good chain lube is the way to go. So how you do it is you put your bike in a stand, you do thin coat of lube, pedaling backwards again, getting the whole chain, lube on each of the chain links, and then run through your cassette, pedal, and then grab a rag, wipe all that chain lube off that chain. Boom. Done.
Dialed.
Yeah.
Done. Ready to rip.
Yeah. So anyway.
Cool. Wow. Thanks for that bucket poll.
Yeah.
Did we answer all the questions?
I know. I'm like,
favorite products: Dawn dish soap.
Dawn
Probably
dish soap.
some good bike cleaning stuff out there, but
Yeah.
I'm a dish soap guy.
There you go. Dawn dish soap. Thanks, Justin Timberlegs.
Yeah.
This section was sponsored by Justin Timberlegs.
We're gonna cut it out just for him. Thanks, Justin Timberlegs.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how you clean your bike.
Excellent. Cool.
What else?
Well,
Should we go for another hour?
I think, yeah, what else do we got to talk about? I think we hit the things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's force phase.
Yeah. And
That's good. That's good.
Folks will have to, it probably won't be next week, but at some point we will talk focus. I don't know. It could be next week.
Right,
Could be
it's
in 2
coming.
weeks.
We're ripping
You
through
just
them.
got to keep listening.
Yep. So,
If you have bucket pull ideas,
yeah, seriously.
send
you
them to
guys,
us.
Send us some bucket pulls.
The
We'd like
last
to talk
two,
about
just
this.
so you know, were actually sent in by someone other than us or our moms. Just so you know.
Yeah. And
Real people.
We're very grateful.
Yes. So
So.
keep them coming.
Yep. Even if you sent a question in, you have another one, send it.
Right.
Send them.
Send them.
We want a bucket. Our vision for this
Yes.
is have like 100 questions
In the
where there's
bucket.
in there,
Yes.
and that would be awesome.
Yes.
So, actually, one person, if you send 10 questions, it's going 10 of your questions is going in
Ooh.
the bucket.
That's pretty good. Yep. All right. Well, you can catch us on the next one. Take us out, D. Didn't see that coming.
This is my one time to practice harmonica, so it's great. We're going to get really good this way.
Really good.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Later.
See ya.